everyone, Chris here from Real Rideshare Stories. If you're new to the channel and you're looking for different things within the rideshare industry, whether it's news, tips and tricks for passengers and drivers, or what actually happens on real rideshare rides, start off by hitting the subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications. All right, continuing on with our scams, we are going to continue talking about scams and how you can prevent them or at least be in control. So if you see some of them unfolding, you will be okay. So I got 10 different scams for you that passengers try to pull. Some of them are a little bit easier to tell, a little bit more prevalent, a little bit more happening than others. So we're gonna go over 10 different ones right now. All right, the first scam we're going to be talking about is the most prevalent, but it's also the easiest to take care of and not allow or prevent. And that is the too many passengers scam, where they're trying to essentially fit too many passengers in a ride where they're trying to cheap out and pay a lower price for the ride than what they should actually pay for getting there the right way or the safe way. So pool and shared rides, it's 1 to 2 passengers. For X rides and regular rides, it's 1 to 4. And for XLs, it's 1 to 6. So do not take more passengers than what's allowed. So if you see more passengers coming out than what is allowed for the ride type, with pool and shared, it's unique because you may have open seats, but their algorithms work as knowing what seats are open, so then you can pick up more people and it is a shared ride. So that is one thing that you want to stick to. You can tell them they can either split it up and you can take 1 to 2 passengers only, or they're going to have to cancel, or you're going to cancel. For X and XL, you won't have more seats available. So don't take more passengers than what's allowed because they're trying, one, to cheap out, but it's very unsafe. And that means you as the driver will take full responsibility if something happens. If you get a ticket, you're the one who's on the hook. If you get into an accident, insurance will not cover you. And if there's any lawsuits, you assume all responsibility for everything. You are the driver. That means you make the rules for your car. So make sure that passengers take the correct amount of passengers in the car. So you can either tell them, hey, look, I can split the ride up, but you can't take everybody in here, and you can order a second ride, or order the proper ride, or cancel altogether. Whatever it is, it's up to you. All right, scam number 2 is the I'll only be a few minutes in this stop scam. And that is where the passenger is going to a store knowing that they're going to be longer than a few minutes and either do all their shopping or order food and take out or whatever it might be. But it's cheaper for them to keep you waiting there than ordering a second ride. Now, the stops on rides is only supposed to be a few minutes max. So if you go to a convenience store and you pick up a couple of things, or if you go and pick up food that is already ordered and ready to go, those types of things are pretty good for stops. But when you get into 15, 20, 25, 30-minute stops, you as a driver are not getting paid for that time waiting. You're making cents on the dollar. So if you're making 10, 12, 18 cents a minute, sometimes it's not worth it. You're going to make a lot more money driving. So your stops are only supposed to be, up to about 5 minutes long, and that's it. So if they're trying to leave anchors in the car, like purses or clothing or certain objects that will somewhat prevent you from going, you can say, look, you got to take all your stuff. If this lasts longer than X amount of time, and it's up to you as a driver how long you want to wait. We'll just use 5 minutes as an example. You say, I can only wait 5 minutes for this. After 5 minutes, I have to cancel the ride and continue on. You can get your stuff at a later time by taking it to the hub, by taking it somewhere, or that they have to pay a return fee down the road. So they just might as well take it at that point. But like I said, it's cheaper for the passenger to keep you there longer than booking 2 rides like it should be. So don't fall for that scam. Set a certain time frame for waiting. Let them know and be stern about it, but also be nice as well too. Don't be like, look, you only have 5 minutes. Just be like, hey, look, I can only wait 5 minutes, because the way you portray it is going to definitely have an effect on a lot of different factors as well too. All right, scam number 3 is the movers scam. And that is where passengers will order a Uber ride or a Lyft ride to move all of their stuff, either between apartments or, if it's students with dorm room situations, whatever it might be. But they're trying to move a lot of stuff. And this is different from picking things up at, say, a store like a TV and transporting it. It's a little bit different that way. But these are usually more for XL rides because they're bigger. But yeah, the passengers will try to order rides to move all of their stuff. So the scam is a really weird one because it's usually cheaper to order a U-Haul or a moving truck and go from, spot to spot without having any issues. But yeah, I don't know what they're thinking. But for a driver, again, all that load time and unload time is wasted time that you could be taking other rides. And then also all of the stuff that's in the car, if there's something that breaks or something that moves while you're driving, they could say that you broke it and try to put you on the hook for it and all this different stuff. So if you see people that are moving or getting ready to move and you see a bunch of stuff coming, the easiest thing is just to cancel the ride and move on. Scam number 4, street hailing or cash for rides scams. And these are illegal in most areas, and it's also against Uber and Lyft's terms of service. So if you are taking cash rides, just know you should stop immediately. There's many reasons for it. First, like I said, it's against Uber and Lyft's terms of service. So if you are caught taking cash rides, you could be deactivated. It's illegal in most areas, so you will get a ticket. And also, it's an insurance issue. You don't have commercial insurance, and if you do have that commercial insurance or, limo insurance, that's the only time you would be able to. But for the most and majority of drivers, they do not. They're using either personal insurance or gap insurance or rideshare insurance or whatever it is, but it will not cover cash for rides or street hailing. There's also many sting operations that are happening throughout the country where they're acting like passengers trying to hail down a car, which is an Uber or Lyft ride, and see if they'll pull over and take them. If they do, then they issue them a ticket. So don't even do it. Don't even bother. Stick to the app. There's a lot of reasons for it, but do it that way. All right, number 5 is the Say My Name scam and the Lyft jacking scam, which is just basically Lyft's coinage that says when one person steals another person's ride that they ordered. They coined that phrase, Lyft jacking. I like it. It's actually pretty cool. But yeah, we're going to be talking about that in scam number 5. Now, the Say My Name whole debate is unique in itself because part of it is not a scam. Part of it is a safety concern for a lot of passengers because of a lot of false information that has been going around by having the driver say your name to make sure you're the correct passenger. That is not the proper case. That's not the right thing. So I'm going to cover that real quick right now too. As a passenger, when you order a ride, verify the license plate. Either you could go up to the license plate either in the front or in the rear, depending on what it is. So if you have poor vision, you go right up to it, or if it's at night or whatever it is, go right up to the plate and verify. By all means, I don't mind doing that. Most drivers won't mind that at all. Also, you have what the driver looks like in their picture. You also have the make and model of the car. So all of the cars' makes are on the front hood for the most part, or the logo is. So if it's a Chevy, you know what a Chevy looks like. If it's a Jeep, you know what a Jeep looks like. If you want to confirm, because maybe you don't know if it's a Grand Cherokee or a Laredo for a Jeep, go to the back and check it out. And when you're back there, look at the license plate so you know what the make and model is. Again, look at the picture of the driver too. You have all that information to verify. You also have a phone where you can call the driver and actually see them speaking if you wanted to take it one step further. But the Say My Name thing is the opposite way. So drivers are supposed to get either the passenger's name or the passenger will say the driver's name first, and then you can say the other name. So real quick example. I come up, I'm waiting for, let's say, John. John walks up to the door and I'll say, who's the ride for, or what's the driver's name, or something like that. Usually they give me their names, so that's what I ask first is, who is the ride for, who ordered the ride. He'll say, oh, it's John. I say, great, my name is Chris, and unlock the door at that point. So that part of the say my name issue, where it's the safety issue, yes, that's one thing, and that's a controversial issue there. But I'm talking about the say my name scam, where the scammer is trying to get a free ride and carjack that ride, essentially, where somebody else ordered the ride and has the pickup location at that spot. And what they'll do is they'll say my name, and the driver will say their name, and they say, oh, yep, that's me, open the door. Or they'll just open the door and, start the ride, and they'll say something like, oh, my phone died and the end location isn't where I want to go, and we have to go to this actual location instead. So that is where the scam actually happens, is to say my name. But it is also the controversial side behind it. And it's one of those things where, yes, drivers find out the information first and verify it. Then also verify where you are going with the person. Now, if they say my phone is dead and this location isn't the right location, that is one of the reasons why you should have a phone charger. I have one with a multiple head, so it has the Lightning for an iPhone and it has the USB for every other phone. So this is something that you should have just in case, so they can charge their phones and then they can change it just in case this is a carjacking or Lyft jacking scam that they're trying to pull. All right, scam number 6 is changing the ride scam. And this happens in a couple of different ways. The first one is if you get a ping request just outside a surge zone and you go there, and on your way to the pickup location or at the pickup location, you get a phone call from the passenger saying, oh, that was not the right address that was inputted, something happened, and we're really at this other location, which usually would be in the surge zone at that time, then you have a couple of different options. You could cancel on the ride at that point. And then, if you're right at that surge zone, you could wait for another ride, that surge. Or you could go to the pickup location, wait the 5 minutes and cancel, collect the no-show fee. Or you could drive there depending on the distance, but just know that you were supposed to get a bonus for that ride, but they inputted the wrong location on purpose so they wouldn't have to pay that extra surge pricing. So yeah, that's a couple of different options you have. Now, sometimes, yes, passengers do put in the wrong thing and can move the pin accidentally. You could drive to that if there is no surge going on. That is an honest mistake at times. But if it's too far away, which does happen, you might want to just tell them, hey, look, it's going to be easier for you to cancel the ride because I'm much further away than what is supposed to be. So that's going to be up to you as a driver. Now, the other way that they can do this, which is the change the ride scam, is to stop or not allow that long ride fee ping on the ping request, or the long ride notification on the ping request. So it won't show 45 minutes when it actually is. And how they do that is they'll order a ride that's close to where they are and then change the ride while you're on the way after you accepted it. And then when they get in the car and you see where you're going, it could be 2-3 hours away. So they could change it. Or it could be the opposite way, where it looks like it's going to be a long ride and then they change it to where it's only a few minutes away. So it just depends on location and what's happening. This one is hard to kind of decipher until you actually get there and see where the ride is going. Uber has started showing pickup and drop-off locations in certain markets. Whether that's going to go all over the place, I don't know. We'll see soon. But yeah, that's going to be a pretty interesting thing. Scam number 7 is the last rider let me do it scam. And this is something that you hear passengers say whenever they know it's not allowed, whether they know it's illegal or whatever it is. So it could be taking unaccompanied minors. Oh, the last driver let me do it, trying to convince you to do it and, do something that's against terms of service, do something that could be illegal. So yeah, unaccompanied minors would be one of them. Children without booster seats or car seats. Big thing is know your laws for your local area. If you're on state lines or take rides between states, know your accompanying states' laws as well too, and what's allowed, what's not allowed. Because again, you're in a personal vehicle. You are the driver. You assume all responsibility. Same thing with speeding. Same thing with going through red lights or stop signs or anything where you know it's against terms of service. It's illegal. Same thing with bringing alcohol into a car. Oh, the last driver let us do it. Guess what? I'm not the last driver. So if you know it's against terms of service, if you know it's illegal, do not do it. It's your car. Do not allow other people to try to influence you by saying, oh, the last driver let us do it. Because if they say that, they know it's probably wrong. Number 8 is a very prevalent scam as well too, and it's very hard to know until way after the ride has ended. And this is false reports. So drivers will drive the passenger from their location to their end destination, and everything seems fine. And then all of a sudden, maybe a few minutes later, maybe an hour later, maybe the next day, you will see something like a fare adjustment where it goes back down to 0, or you may even be deactivated. And this is a scam that passengers try to pull because all they want is a free or reduced rate ride. So it's very hard to know that's happening until it's already happened. I'm not going to give any examples of false reports because I don't want any passengers to try to get an idea from this. But that is one thing that you need to kind of be on guard for. So if you ever see a false report or a fare adjusted down to 0, you need to get hold of the company immediately and tell them your side of the story. The quicker it happens, the better it's going to be, and the more in favor it can go against you to give your side. Another reason to have dash cameras, just be on alert, and if you ever see one come through, make sure that you get a hold of the company right away. All right, scam number 9 is a scam that doesn't happen too often, so that is a great thing, but it still does. So you want to make sure you watch out for this one. And the scam is passengers canceling mid-ride. So if they cancel mid-ride, that means the ride is over. Pull over, kick them out, and go on to the next ride. It's very simple. But here's the thing. Some of these scammers will try to distract you from, noticing your phone and whatnot. So make sure your phone is in a very good view so you see the map. If the ride disappears, then yeah, that means the ride's over. Do not continue the ride. Pull over and say, look, ride's over. Either you canceled it, so you can either reorder the ride, or you got to get out and you go on to the next ride. And scam number 10 is the, oh, my phone died, can I use your phone scam. This is a scam that is set up where they say, oh, my phone is dead and I can't use it, and maybe they wanted to add a stop, or maybe they wanted to change the location. And this is after you verified that they are the correct passenger, so you know that they're not Lyft jacking, but they say that their phone's dead. Can they use your phone in order to, make those changes? Under no circumstances ever give your phone to anybody else and everybody that you don't know. That means no passengers whatsoever should touch your phone. Your phone is open and unlocked. Your app is open. It's very easy for people to change and transfer money from your account to their account. So you don't want to do that. make sure to never give your phone out. This scam has 3 people arrested in New York City. This is a video I did over this early summer. I believe it was in June. But 3 scammers scammed $33,000 out of 33 drivers in New York City. So yeah, it is a real scam, and they're trying to get your money or try to transfer money, so do not allow it. And a bonus, because this scam didn't fit in 10 because we have a few others, but this is a very important one to pay attention to. And this is the text, the phone call, the email, and the phishing for information scam. So you order a ride as a passenger, it pops up on the driver's side, the driver hits accept, and then all of a sudden, the driver gets a text message or a phone call saying, "This is Uber support. This is an auto-generated ride. Pull over, cancel the ride, and put your phone number in here, or you need to verify certain information, so you need to call this number," or they might be on the phone trying to get you to give them information while canceling the ride. Now, I just did a video on this not too long ago. It's going to be right here if you want to check that video out. There's a lot more information in it on that scam and what to watch out for. But yeah, essentially, there is no person from Uber or Lyft that will ever auto-generate a ride whatsoever. If they need to reach out to you, they're going to do it by the means that you already know, meaning they're going to text you, they're going to email you, and they're going to put a notification on your app itself. If they need to call you for whatever reason, yes, they may call you, but it's not going to be from a generated ride. They're going to call you, and then it will also notify you in the app or in an email or whatever it might be. So you know if Lyft or Uber are trying to actually contact you in any way, shape, or form. But no automated support. So do not give out any information, and do not verify any information as well too, because, well, one, they're not going to have it, and they're going to make it sound like they are. It's a phishing scam. They're just trying to get certain information depending on what it is. Again, go check out that video as it explains a lot more details. That is 10 scams plus a bonus scam. There are a lot of scams out there. There's even more. So if you want to comment below some other scams, you could do that so other people know. But those are some of the scams that you need to watch out for. Some of them are pretty easy to spot. Some of them you won't be able to know till later. And some of them are really trying to screw you. So you always want to make sure you're on your toes. And I'm going to tell you, at least 98%, 99.9% of rides are going to run smooth and are going to be good. They're going to be fun. They're not going to be scamming. But yes, there are going to be people out there trying to get a reduced rate, a free ride, or steal your information. So just to be aware and always pay attention. All right, with that being said, hope you guys learned a lot of information, especially with the scams that are going on and are prevalent, so you can be aware and you don't fall victim to any of them. Make sure to give a thumbs up for this video if you learned anything, if you enjoyed it. And then also, please subscribe and ring the bell for notifications so you'll be notified every time a new video is uploaded and anytime I go live, so you can participate in the live chat and we can hang out and have a good time. And as always, never drink and drive, always tip your drivers, and we'll see you next time.